Welcome. My name is Scott of Scott's Case Files, the channel you're watching right now, and this is our session 0 of Bedlam Hall, the Malbanes. And above me, as always, are the stars of the show, the players. Let's introduce them real quick. So let's go from left on my left to, well, that side. You know what I mean. Let's start with Steve. So Steve has been with Scott's Case Files since its inception, in more campaigns than I can talk to you about legally. And yeah, so he's been all over the place, all kinds of games. Yeah, he's a sounding board for me. Steve is the man. Hello, Steve. And the dishes are happening in the background. Jason.
Those aren't mine.
Those are mine.
That's not my dishes this time.
No, glad to be back and glad to try a new game.
Excellent, excellent. And we have Jason, who is this is like what, your third campaign with me now?
Indeed, there was Cyberpunk, and before that, there was Monster of the Week, which was an awesome enough game that the characters are now appearing in at least 2 other unrelated to Scott campaigns.
Well, that is a high compliment to NAGM that characters or NPCs go on and live. So thank you for that. Yeah, so good to have you back, Jason. And last but not least, we have Philip, who's been with me for, this is his second campaign. Previously, Kids on Brooms, where I successfully, mentally traumatized him a bit. But for some reason he likes that kind of thing, and he came back for more. Well, and this is the game if you're in a mental trauma. So welcome back.
Oh yeah, it's a feature now, not a bug. So
yes, it's one of the many things I offer. Cool.
Yeah, good to be back. Thanks for letting me join.
Absolutely, good to have you. So the game is Bedlam Hall. It is a Power by the Apocalypse game, as number of them that we played in the past, and it's basically it just self-described, I believe, as Downton Abbey meets the Addams Family plus any number of other things. But the setting is just past the Great War, World War I, in the countryside of England, in a manor house inhabited by the Malbanes, who we are actually going to create this session. We get part of the cool thing is we get to create the family, the characters, and the house all together. So that's gonna be pretty cool. So you can't just curse me when the house hurts you because you helped create it. So I want you to remember that. I want you to keep that in mind.
I can curse whoever created that particular part of the house.
I suppose you could. What if it's you?
And do we have?
Are you implying that I would be hoist by my own petard?
We don't do that in public, Jason. We talked about that.
Oh, well, then I'll talk to you later, Scott.
That was that one time. What were you saying, Steve?
Are we going to be keeping anything on Roll20, or is it all going to be on World Anvil for like character sheets and stuff? Or whatever we put it.
Yeah, so Roll20 has been our kind of standby. It's the easiest place for me to kind of do what I do with the teaching portion of the show, which is like the moves and rules. So we'll be doing it that way for now. I was considering doing like completely World Anvil, which, by the way, thank you, Steve, for mentioning that. This will be my first campaign on World Anvil. World Anvil is like a world building campaign information library type of thing, where we'll be keeping all the information on Bedlam Hall, and I'm thinking all games to come in Scott's Case Files. So, but World Anvil also does have its own kind of game interface, but it doesn't have all that I'm hoping for. Plus, I don't want to accidentally give away any secrets, because the general public would, of course, be seeing my screen. So there's that.
Yeah.
But definitely we'll be doing a whole lot on World Anvil. And since you brought it up, one of the cool things I like about it is the characters are completely owned by the players. They can choose to join their characters to my campaign. They can choose to take them away, interestingly enough. I have no control over that. They can also do a whole bunch of neat things with them. You can maintain your own sheets. You can, one of the cooler things I like is you can kind of maintain a diary if you wanted to, like an episode diary. So I highly encourage you to do so, do like an in-character thing if you have nothing else to do. So Philip, as I was asking before, why Bedlam Hall? What got you interested?
Well, I mean, I enjoy playing campaigns with Scott's Case Files, so that was a big draw for me because I think the community is great and I like the things that you come up with. I enjoy Power by the Apocalypse as a system. I think it's cool and a neat way to like have a story that continually moves forward instead of just stopping if somebody has a bad roll. And I watched a few seasons of Downton Abbey with my family when I was in high school, which I'm dating myself the opposite way. But I enjoyed that, and I kind of liked sort of the sneaky, suspicious, conniving things on a really small scale. Like I enjoy like the political thriller type stuff like Game of Thrones, but sometimes it's just so huge. And I love that like this is like super small.
Pardon me.
And I also like playing games that have like I like characters who kind of poke sticks into things and watch stuff sort of blow
This
up
is that game.
Yeah.
Hawk was good at that.
Funny. Yeah, so you're in the right place.
I just thought it seems like a perfect fit, especially since I haven't done any role playing really since. I haven't played anything since Kids on Brooms.
No way.
I'm excited.
Well, that's sad because you should be. You're good. You're a good role player. You get into character. It's cool. So
I do what I can.
You do what you can. Hey, that's all I will ever ask of you. How about you, Jason? Why Bedlam Hall? Or do you just want to kind of continue the Scott's Case Files campaign train from campaign to campaign?
So
can't not anymore.
I had never even heard of Bedlam Hall before you brought it up, and I took a very, very quick look over it, and I'm like, this sounds absolutely ridiculous. I'm in. and it was a very, very quick look over, which was, I mean, pretty much what you said. And I'm like, And yep, then I was just like, so I had no idea what to expect, except that apparently things are going to get worse.
They're automatically going to get worse. So, since I already asked the other guys, Steve, why Bedlam Hall for you? What brought you in? What brought you back to the Scott's Case File fold?
It'd be in the Downton Abbey realm of things. Having that kind of and the fact that I like Gloom, the card game, both seem to really line up together.
Awesome. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I have not seen a single episode of Downton Abbey, but it's in my list for this coming week. I have, however, seen The Addams Family, so that's what kind of lured me in to want to do this. And plus, you'll notice there is no like combat move, which, by the way, isn't to say that you can't hurt people. Yeah, exactly. I was looking more for like, okay, we've done physical warfare. I played emotional warfare with Philip and Kids and Brooms. So let's go to, mental or social warfare rather. So yeah, this is that. So there we are.
There are a few actual physical attack moves. They're just not the basic moves. I believe the chauffeur has one. Or at least access to one.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, it's not it's not centric to the system, which I like.
Yes,
just something a little different, But yes, you can do harm in many ways. So that being said, let's talk characters. So I know you each picked your playbook already. Steve, what have you gone with?
I've gone with housekeeper.
Excellent. Jason?
The butler.
The butler. He did it, by the way.
I did not do anything yet.
Philip, what was yours?
The chauffeur.
Excellent.
Yes.
Cool. So let's go with that. Let's bring up roll 20 here. And let's see. So we'll go over basic moves later. But for the moment, let's kind of take a look at what each of your playbooks. So we have the butler. So let's go over here. I'm just going to kind of zoom in. Oop. There we go. All right, so the butler is considered the highest ranking servant amongst staff, working in tandem with the housekeeper to maintain order and control. The butler oversees the duties of all male servants, including the kitchen staff. And again, I give zero craps about gender here, so the kitchen staff and whatever. Well, yeah, et cetera. When there's a problem upstairs being the places that are the families, like areas specifically, is the general upstairs term, and it's generally upstairs. It's the duty of the butler to resolve it immediately, quietly, and maintain the overall stability of the household. So that's the butler. Let's go housekeeper. So the housekeeper is considered the highest ranking, again, gender we give zero craps about, servant on the staff, taking care of pretty much the downstairs. So working in tandem with the butler to maintain order and control. The housekeeper oversees the duties of all female, again, blah, 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 and is considered, so basically upstairs, downstairs. Butler upstairs, housekeeper downstairs. And let's see here. The president, housekeeper is primarily responsible for maintaining the cleanliness of the house at all times. Good luck. And last but not least, the chauffeur. I keep forgetting I am not bringing you guys along with me. I apologize. I keep moving it for myself and the viewers, but not the players. I apologize. Sorry about that. And the chauffeur is part of the household staff. They frequently enjoy a greater level of freedom than the normal staff members. Go figure, transportation. Chauffeurs not only has access to the garage, which is separate from the household, but also the family car, again, which gives that freedom and independence from the hierarchy of the household staff. They're responsible for any vehicle's upkeep and should be ready at a moment's notice to provide transportation to any family member. So the players here are the staff. We are not heroes. We are not the chosen ones. We are not, going to save a universe, a world, or probably not even a house. There's that. And the antagonists are the very people employing you, like real life. So a little too close to home for that one, I understand.
I was going to say, and each other and the house.
And each other and the house, yes, thank you. Yes, this is a PvP-ish game. As we'll kind of talk about once we kind of get into things, every character has what's called prestige, which is exactly what it sounds like. How valued you're looked upon by the family. So prestige is important in many ways. It's, for one, again, how you're looked at by the family. The person with the highest prestige will pretty much be the one that the family assumes was responsible for the great thing that happened. So again, one of the examples they give is like two people of varying prestige. The lower prestige one actually does all of the work. The higher prestige one was just there to supervise or peripherally. The family will thank the higher prestige one in this occasion, that type of thing. Prestige is also spent and lost to do things, and we'll get into that later. That's not as important at the moment, but prestige is the end all and the be all. In fact, it's also what you use to spend to advance your abilities, etc. So very important. So that said, let's see here. Have you all actually done any character generation? You can be honest.
I have not, because I figured need to figure out who's all playing and so on. But also, I mean, character generation is very, very fast in PBTA.
Cool.
So I didn't expect it would be a real issue.
Yeah, exactly. Power by the Apocalypse, as everyone here knows, is all about the quick. Everything is on your character sheet. So let's look at at least define the attributes and kind of move on from there. It'll give you guys a handle. So let's see here. The attributes are etiquette. This is basically just what it sounds like in part. It's defined as like, knowing how to set the table properly, where the shrimp spoon goes or shrimp fork, etc. Don't drink the finger bowl, etc., that kind of thing. And it's, how proper you are, how you approach things, how quickly you are aware of an etiquette infraction, that kind of stuff. Persuasion is exactly what it sounds like. You're persuading staff, you're persuading the family, etc., You're persuading people. Your cult of personality type of thing. You have your composure. There are going to be some crazy things happening in this household. Supernatural, murderous, bloody, immoral. So composure is partially how you deal with those things. Do you deal with it well? Are you able to turn a blind eye easily? Or when the blood splatters on your face, are you going to freak out and, show your weakness in front of the family? Don't do that. And then there's fortitude. Again, this is plain and simple what it sounds like. It's, basically, how long can you do the thing? The example they use in the book is, you have to spend all night cooking for tomorrow's fox hunter, burying the neighbor's dead cat in the flower garden, being able to stay up late and do those things for long periods of time. And they go, so the attributes go from -1 to 3, and 3 being the best, -1 being that's not a good scene here. When we roll things, it'll be potentially 3d6, but normally 2d6. So 2d6 plus your attribute for a move gives you your outcome. A 1 to 6 is a miss. 7 to 9 is a partial success, and a 10 is a full-on success. And there's also such a thing as rolling with something extra or rolling with something less. In those cases, you actually roll 3d6 and either throw away the lowest one or the highest one, depending on which of those you're going with. And that's something we'll cover later on as we kind of actually get into rolls. But there's that. So yeah, and the thing just if you even take a cursory look at the basic moves, you're going to find that unless you roll a 10, you're having troubles. There's no such thing as a friendly partial success. You are going to get screwed over if you don't have a perfect roll. And that's part of the beauty of the system, I think. It's like whatever you do, it's always a risk. You're risking something every time. You're risking an interaction with the family or the staff or the world. So yeah, when you hit that, when you do the thing and make the move, be ready. It's going to be interesting. So yeah, the starting attributes are kind of mapped out there for you. I have a
quick question.
Yeah, please go.
So remind me, in PBTA, we add the number of the attribute to the roll, yes, whatever it's called for in the move. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
if you have 2 persuasion and you're making a roll that says roll plus persuasion, it's 2d6 plus 2.
Okay, cool.
If your persuasion's -1, it's 2d6 -1. And you're screwed.
And you're screwed. Cool. So why don't you guys each pick one attribute combination that works for you. Again, it goes, as you can kind of see, it's everything from kind of, even to, something better, something a little better, and then the rest average, and you're falling behind in one, or you're, specializing in 2 areas and falling behind in 2 areas, or yeah, basically average, really good, kind of good.
I find it surprising that they don't, that they're not consistently adding up. That a 2 is actually, like, a 2 is weighted higher than the other numbers.
Yeah, again, I think that's because of the whole anything less than 10 and you're screwed thing.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's like that is more important in this. But yeah, good catch there.
Because other systems, other PBTA, they'll always add up to 5 or 4 or something like that. And
oh yeah, exactly.
Supposed to be a little more consistent about it.
Right. And again, I think that those the partial successes are more forgiving, generally speaking. You aren't completely out of luck. So, but yeah, good catch. I actually did not notice that. So, all right. So that's attributes, and again, as Jason was pointing out, one of the wonderful things about Powered by the Apocalypse is that it does go so quickly. Character generation is no time at all. So let's see here. So we get let's see here. So like the Butler, for example, has a given skill. So, for example, Butler, voice of authority. The Butler starts with an additional prestige. Everyone mark 1 prestige. The Butler gets 2 to start. And that's, your prestige is going to go up and down so much, it's not even funny. So, not to worry. After that, basically pick 2 of your playbook moves. I believe every playbook instructs you to take 2. Excellent. And after this, let me know when you're all ready. We'll talk about the cruel move, and then we'll go to secrets. And I think for secrets, we might be doing something a little different than I usually do. But we'll get to that.
Is it okay if I take a little bit longer to think about this one?
Please do.
With the moves and stuff. Cool.
Yeah. Since you're the one mentioning it, let's take a look at what your moves are.
Is that what we're doing? Choosing moves? Sorry, I was trying to update World Anvil.
Yep, go ahead. Do your 2 moves. Your pick 2. And again, so my thing again, Steve excellently brings up World Anvil. Again, it's such an interesting thing, World Anvil, and I like how easy it is to share all this with you, the viewer, the public, my players, etc., etc. So it's just such a neat little thing. I did use another one before, a different campaign manager, and it just felt very clunky. I think there's a higher learning curve with World Anvil, but there's more you can share. And I do like that the players have ownership of their characters. And that should make them feel empowered, I hope, also to, do what they want with it, do the diaries or not, or, add in other details, etc. But yeah. So after this session, before actually session 1, I'll be filling out everything we go over here in World Anvil. Everything will have an entry, every person, etc., etc. All right. So since we're here talking about Philip and his moves, not a Philip move, but a chauffeur move. I don't know what the Philip moves are. I'm not sure I want to. But yeah, so we have, you can kind of see how this plays into the playbook really nicely. The level scamp, gain a prestige when someone incorrectly confirms a suspicion about you. And again, we'll get into suspicions as we go. We're not quite ready for suspicions yet. We haven't even talked about secrets. going to town, getting a clear mind. So one of the ways that all characters can get rid of trauma is, physical, mental, social trauma, is to escape for a while. And as you might think, the chauffeur has a little easier with this. Friends of the locals. Again, the person who has the most freedom to go to town will, of course, know some town people and get information from them and that kind of thing. And here's the one that Philip was talking about before. Don't make this physical. You successfully direct the staff. You have the option of causing one trauma if they choose not to follow your command. You can cuff them. For partial success, they have the option of causing one trauma to you. Again, unforgiving, less than perfect rolls. And rough and tumble at the expense of prestige. You can cause physical trauma to another member of staff. So, yeah, you might get your ass kicked by the chauffeur, basically. I did not see that coming, but here we are. So, yeah, very interesting. All right. How's everybody coming on their choice of their moves?
I got one. Need to figure out the other one.
Excellent.
Working on this all, trying to figure out where I should be writing all of this down.
Yeah, again, there's not much stuff to do with the sheet. Once you choose the stuff, I'll probably put together like a sheet with a PDF or whatever with all your stuff on it and post that to World Anvil and also Roll20 so we have access to it. So for now, just take like little crib notes and we'll kind of go from there.
I've picked my stuff.
Excellent.
I haven't picked a cool move yet. Are we discussing those together?
What are you on now? What are you talking about?
I haven't picked a cruel move yet. Are we still just on the individual?
Yep, we're on playbook moves. We're about to get to cruel moves.
Cool.
So yeah, when I was kind of getting the ideas for this together, originally I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do something cool, and every member of the family will have a different voice. And then I decided, Scott, you're dumb. You'll never be able to do that the whole time. Make a new voice and carry through. You're not that good.
I was gonna say that would just encourage us to have new members of the family at all times.
Yeah. There's a cruelty there.
Oh, they live there with their 12 cousins?
Yes. Needless to say, there is a reason.
All of which are from a different nation?
Oh, my God. Oh, God. Through lightning strikes in this game. They just happen so randomly.
Wow, all 12 cousins have been killed.
The reason we don't go outside.
Yeah. Don't go outside. Don't go off the path.
So, what moves did we choose?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, okay. What did you choose?
Housekeeper starts with Stern Taskmistress. I roll with something extra when directing the staff. I took an Experienced Ear. When speaking with staff, I rolled plus Persuasion. With full success, I can determine if they're telling the truth, and if not, what is the falsehood. And with a partial success, I know something sounds strange. Everything probably sounds strange, but I can't figure out what it is. And then I took Coolest Head in the Room, since I was going with an aloof person anyways. My presence demands respect. I may use Composure in place of Persuasion.
Cool. And specific order may, is as you stressed, is important.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's higher why you would not, but...
Right. Yeah, I don't think there's a really negative for here, but yes. Cool. Awesome. Let's see. How about Jason? Haven't heard from you in a little bit.
Okay. So I'm going the 2-1-1 -1, and my -1's in Composure.
Oh my God. That'll be so fun.
two in persuasion, 1 etiquette, 1 fortitude, -1 composure.
Oh.
But the fact I have -1 composure is why I've actually stayed in the Malbane service so long and have risen to the high rank of butler. Because one of my story moves is, of course, the stiff upper lip. When attempting to ignore the strange, you may roll fortitude instead of composure.
Nice.
So I have no real composure outside of that, but whatever they're doing, I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. and as a result of all my experience with them, I also have a place for everything, allowing you to roll with something extra to verify that everything is in its place.
Nice. Good choices. Good choices. All right. Philip, how about you?
So I also took the 2-1-1 -1. And my 2 is in persuasion, and my -1 is in etiquette, because I don't know how the house works.
Just keep kicking their asses, and it'll work itself out.
Yeah, I'm not actually a very physical chauffeur as of yet. I took lovable scamp and an outsider's perspective, because I kind of picture myself being pretty new to the staff, and so
cool.
People have all sorts of different suspicions about me, and I'm not comfortable enough beating up on people yet.
It's gonna come. Excellent. Okay, cool. Good choices. So now let's go to the cruel move. So the cruel move is a move that each of you can do once per session. It requires no roll. It automatically happens. Yeah, it's cruel. So let's see here. Go to the list here. Hold tight. Here we go. Almost there. All right, cruel moves. So again, yeah. So once per session, each character of each member of the staff can do a cruel move once per session. No roll required. Happens automatically. And as it kind of notes here, not always instantaneously. It's at the right time for the wrong. So the cruel moves. You can choose one. The first is a turn of the screw. They have the option to intentionally provoking one of the family members into their trouble's final horrific state. So it's getting a little ahead of ourselves, but basically each family member has a trouble. Some kind of eccentricity, possibly supernatural, possibly criminal, possibly just so very wrong, and they have levels. Just a little bit of agitation, middling, and oh my god, they're biting off my face type of level. So, turn of the screw. You intentionally provoke one of the family members to their final horrific state. Wow, they really started off extra cruel with that one. The next one is a heightened tension. Have the option of shifting all family members. Yes.
Where are you showing these? I don't.
I'm not showing you only because I don't. It's part of the book.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yep, and I don't. Whereas for the way, at least the way I have always kind of done things, it's like they give out the playbooks and the basic moves for free, so I'm cool with displaying those. But anything from the book, I don't generally display in the thing, just to kind of keep it, protect the IP, if you will.
Perfect.
Yes. So that's why I'm kind of going over it with you and with the others. If you want to follow in the book, it is on page 60 where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hopefully you all got it at the sale price on Drive-Thru. This is not sponsored by Drive-Thru RPG. All right. So yes, let's see. Heightened tension. You had the option of shifting all family members up one level in their troubles. That's terrifying and simultaneously. A terrible scandal. You have the option of sending a letter to the local newspaper detailing all known secrets in your arsenal simultaneously. So that's terrible. That is a cruel move. As a note, again, I want to keep from jumping around if we can, but basically, if a secret of a person is exposed to the family, that person immediately loses all prestige. They go to 0. And what that means is if they were to lose one more prestige, there are some alternatives to this, but generally speaking, if they lose one more prestige when they're already at 0, they are dismissed from the service of the Malbanes. So that's pretty huge. And to potentially, basically the terrible scandal, you're potentially giving out secrets on a bunch of people, family, staff, etc., all at the same time, and just causing all kinds of horrible stuff. But the negative part is now you're out of secrets to use as leverage on people. So you need leverage. You need social leverage. Next one, the physical altercation. You have the option of choosing one member of the household staff and beating the tar out of them, causing 3 trauma. So 3 trauma is pretty large, and that's a lot of tar.
Well, considering if you reach 5 trauma, your character is forcibly retired. or I mean, they could be dead or worse, but they're out of the game.
Oh my goodness. The or worse in the Malbane Manor household is an interesting one. So yes, that's pretty big. Again, these are all correctly named as cruel moves. The next one is an expensive theft. You have the option of taking an heirloom jewelry, family silver, or something of great worth in the house. After this, all staff will be suspected of the malfeasance and lose 1 prestige, as well as a growing suspicion of the family. So wow, that's big too. And the last, an uncomfortable aperitif. You have the option of having spiked the household staff meal with something extremely unpleasant. Everyone else experiences 2 trauma and a great deal of discomfort for the remainder of the game session. Damn. That's a lot of cruel moves.
So 1 cruel move allows you to do 3 trauma to 1 person. Other one allows you to do 2 trauma to absolutely everybody. Which is, well, everybody else.
Everybody else besides yourself. But then, of course, you're noted as the one who wasn't affected. Wonder what's going on there.
The expensive theft will still affect you. Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, so those are the cruel moves. So pick one. We don't have to share it. It might be more interesting to find out at the time. Let's see here. So that's cruel moves. Let's see here.
So, Scott, I have a question about that one.
Yeah,
sure.
I have a question too, but go ahead, Philip.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. So it says here that the cruel move does not require a dice roll. They happen automatically, though not always instantaneously, and it can be enacted once per game session. So is this something where, like, in practice, we would tell you, hey, I want to use my cruel move to do this, and then you would choose when it gets implemented? Because I can just imagine, like, I don't know, you fix the uncomfortable aperitif at the beginning of every session so that each other person gets a bunch of trauma. Like, is it more like you determine when it happens at the most dramatic, appropriate point, or do we have to get your permission to use it?
I don't think. I don't think
at the bottom of the list, it says a cruel move can be a public declaration or a secret whisper to the master of the house.
Yeah.
So, but if you do it secretly, you gain a character trait secret, I did this cruel thing.
Hmm.
So if you secretly poison the uncomfortable aperitif by secretly telling Scott, not publicly letting us know, you gain an additional secret on your character sheet. I poisoned the staff, which we can then try and find out and use against you.
Again, it's all social warfare. So yeah, but as to like when it happens, like for example, obviously like the uncomfortable aperitif, it'll be at a meal that you have access to or had access to or something. But yeah, it can be whenever. I'll leave you guys more in control of that. That's it's your cruel move. I am but the implementer.
So I had two questions. One, is there any benefit besides chaos to sending a household member deep into their trouble? Or is it just for the, just for the, or if there's, some narrative, thing where you just want them to go completely off when someone else is around?
So okay. So for example, let's say, and this is all like a chess game here too. Think of it as like that. So for example, let's do a hypothetical, which will probably actually happen. One of you has to go tend to this one family individual. Well, meanwhile, unbeknownst to them, young Jenny went and, used her cruel move or whatever and, poked the bear with a stick. So by the time the other person gets to them, they're in full-on trauma. They're in full-on trouble mode. And now they have to risk trauma or prestige just interacting with them. So it's all a matter of like putting the person in the bad situation where you aren't is kind of the goal, I think, of that overall. Or just because you want to spite them.
So my follow-up to that is what sort of tone are we going for, not only with the game as a whole, but with the inter-party conflict? Because obviously some of these moves you could easily just like, oh, we're going to knock that character out. Oh, let's move on to number 6, knock him out.
Right, exactly. So, and that's a really good question. And now is a good enough time to kind of cover that. So, let's move over here. So, yeah. So this is a player versus player game. But unlike other player versus player games, sometimes it's beneficial to keep people around. And sometimes it's beneficial to knock them out of the game. So for example, let's say Philip's character has a bunch of secrets on Jason's character. It would not be beneficial, generally speaking, for Philip to get Jason dismissed from the household because he has leverage over Jason's character. So that's a bunch of you'd have to rebuild that leverage on the next guy or person who came in, that kind of thing. So yeah, so to answer Steve's question, I'm gonna we can totally discuss that. My initial reaction from my personal perspective, and I'm totally willing to work with you guys on it, is that knocking someone out of the game or a character out of the game is fair play. It's better to keep them under your thumb, that type of thing, or threaten them with that type of thing. But if someone gets knocked out, there should be no hard feelings. That's why there's other staff positions available. What do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on that? As Steve rightly brought up, this is a very important part of this game. Nobody wants to ruin a game for somebody. I want you all to have fun. I want to have some laughs. I want to see some horror. And that kind of thing. And again, this is because there is just, look at your character sheet. There's so freaking little to be developed there. There's not a real great way to be completely attached to that character. And I think that's part of the design of it. Don't get attached because you may get dismissed or, buried alive or in pieces, etc. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that? What are you thinking? Again, this is collaborative here. I'd like to get your input, and I don't want anybody to kind of leave a session upset That's the very last thing I want. You know, I want everybody to have a good time. So what are your thoughts? Please share. Don't all go at once. I know Jason's a talker. You're disappointed.
Well, I mean, I knew this could happen going into this, so you know, and it's like, yeah, there are other things that could come back to the new character. Probably not if it's late in the run, but early enough on. And of course, if you're risking a fight, there are ways to try and worm your way back into family's favor. And they don't all involve throwing the chauffeur under the Bentley.
Some do.
A lot do.
A lot do, really.
Besides, if somebody's mean to you, you can your cruel moves of physical altercation, get revenge. Don't get mad, get even.
Get even. So now, and another thing I want you guys to consider is that you've all heard the phrase, sometimes it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. So something to keep in mind. What are you thinking, Philip? What are your thoughts on the whole PvP nature here?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of expected for this one. I think I personally prefer a little bit of method to the chaos. I mean, as I said, I like to poke stick, and that's something that's fun. I've had multiple characters in the past who have been on the giving or receiving end of PvP in campaigns that weren't necessarily intended to be PvP. So I lean into that sort of conflict. I like it to be at a dramatic moment, so I'd be a bit bummed if like a character died every session and we didn't have a chance to get to know people. But you know, if 2 or 3 or 4 characters get dismissed or dismembered over the course of the campaign, I'd be happy with that.
I was gonna say, as long as we have them on the board somewhere with a red X.
In the kitchen.
And I plan on having a second character ready. Because I think if we do that on our own, you know, once we've gone through this process if we do that on our own, it'll make things much smoother for Scott when, you know, someone gets written out, you know, 1 hour into the episode. You know, and frankly, that could be episode 1, you know. It's not hard because you start with 1 prestige, and if you drop 2 prestige, you know, you'd get dismissed. Well, you know, cruel moves, you know, everyone loses a prestige, you know, because I did take expensive theft. You know, and someone else, you know, does something to, you know, make someone else -1 prestige. Gone.
Right. And there are,
you know, trauma.
Yeah, there are ways to come back. I have, to be honest, I'm not an expert in the game yet. I'm working towards that. I'm at the point where I get it. And then there's the stuff like there are ways to come back from 0 prestige or minus less than 1 prestige or 5 trauma in various ways, etc. We'll kind of get it. I'm again, by the next session I'll be good to go. And kind of get a better handle on those things. But you know, you like the dismission? Is that a word? You know what I'm talking. All right, that's a possibility. But it's not necessarily the end all. But yeah, I would do as Steve says and have a secondary character ready, just in case.
So
first come, first served.
Page 121 has the terrible alternatives to dismissal.
And they are terrible.
So, they are terrible. Yeah. When players dwindle 0 prestige, they should rightly fear they're about to be dismissed. They should also play into any secret they've been keeping. Because, of course. Yeah. As the Master of the House, this provides an opportunity to raise the stakes with illogical and possibly life-threatening requests in order to serve the house.
Yeah, but you'll do it. Nice. Cool. So yeah, again, so it's not always the end. So let's see here. So let's go to secrets now. So each player starts with 1 secret they'd prefer to keep hidden in their past. These types of secrets are based on the character's previous background and can be alluded to in different methods through gameplay. When selecting a starting secret, the Master of the House moi, should encourage player to develop a full explanation as to why this is buried deep in the past, eager to keep others from knowing. A former criminal past is not as exciting as served as the driver of the McMutter gang in Glasgow until witnessing a murder caused me to go on the run from both the law and my former mates. So yeah, so build on it. For secrets, normally I play a very everything's on the table type of campaign. I think this would be more interesting if our secrets were kept secret until they come out. So I will encourage you to figure out your own secrets in your own time, and we'll keep those separate from the sheets, etc. I'll put those in my special sections on World Anvil, and I think it's just more interesting to kind of ferret out the secrets and that's a little more mechanical get into of suspicions and picking up on suspicions and dropping suspicions, and again, this game revolves around prestige and secrets. If there were two things that this revolves around, those are them.
And I think that's you would poke at a lot as the master of the house. So obviously, if we have them secret, we could just put on the poker face and just not ever mention it.
Exactly. Yes, and the interesting thing is, there is such a thing as if you look in the basic moves, you'll see that there are things like I want to try to challenge this person. Yeah, so it's like you can technically if you aren't careful about it, someone could pick up on a clue as to one of Steve's secrets and believe it's actually Jason's secret and go that way, and it's until it's revealed nobody really knows until it comes out in the open. And I'll let you guys, as we do go towards exposing secrets, assuming they're still even out of character secret, keep them between you type of thing. But likely the way it'll have to work is eventually secrets will come out onto the table and we'll have to work with them, and that's fine. But I think it'd just be more interesting, at least at first, if you had to play the Sherlock Holmes character in order to figure out who's doing what behind whose back, etc., etc. So we'll skip secrets here. Again, I encourage you to kind of do your own. Let me know what they are, in secret. DM me on Discord or whatever, and we'll do those like that. So that's that. I think that's the entire character sheet, right?
Yeah, the game recommends developing each character's secret with the Master of the House's guidance in order to maximize traumatic experience as brightly as possible. You are certainly not playing this for giggles.
Now, my hope is we are.
And yeah, that's it. It's like character creation, choose your position, choose your attributes, take your playbook moves, determine your secret and cruel move, take your 1 prestige, and you're done.
Cool. So we have 2 more sections of character or game generation to go, and that's the family, which you guys will be all creating with me, and the house itself. We'll be creating the house. So that's kind of cool. Yes, Steve.
Philip, what is your chauffeur's name?
Oh, we should probably put that on the thing here. I should update. I was
thinking Croft.
Croft.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Why don't we update? Croft. Let's update nameplates real quick since we're here. So let's see. So Croft, Croft.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Croft, Miss Croft.
Croft's pronouns are she, her.
All right. The family will likely call her Ms. Croft.
Cool.
Am I spelling chauffeur right? I can never get that one right. We'll come back to that if I've misspelled it. All right. Jason, what's your character name?
Mr. Current, as in blackcurrant.
Ooh, Mr.
As in not immediately, but the fruit. Currant.
Gotcha. The butler. And what? And Mr. Is he him?
Yep. Very good, sir.
Oh my goodness. You know you can't keep that going the whole time any more than I can, Jason.
Are you really challenging me?
I am
That
tempted.
sounds like a challenge. I think
so
I
tempted.
can maintain this voice for much longer than you.
That I don't doubt.
There's a great part of the Lord of the Rings behind the scenes stuff where they talk about Gollum juice that they had him drink to help maintain his voice from doing all that craziness. You should look that up, and then you can just do it forever.
Damn you, Philip. Damn you to heck. All right, Steve, what's your character's name?
Mr. Reynolds.
Mr. Reynolds. He, him?
Yep.
Okay. Nice. All right, cool. Nameplates are in place. I'm going to do the Ms. Croft on your nameplate there. Cool. All right, looks good. Pardon me. All right, so next, are you guys ready to jump straight into family creation?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. So I want you guys to be pretty much the main creators here. I do have just a couple of requests, and they are actually requests. I've in theory already named the patriarch of the family, Mr. Mortimer Malbane III. From anywhere from that, let's do it. My other requests are that there are at least 3 generations worth of people in the household. So, at least 3 generations. So potentially like, a parent or something of the Malbane patriarch and matriarch, children, and children. So the 3 children, if we go there. I would request that one of the family be a pet. And please don't make a Wednesday Addams clone. It's just done. It's overdone. As much as I love Wednesday, don't do it. That's my other request. If you go ahead and do it, I'll live, but she'll probably die.
I have not seen the Addams Family, so if I accidentally make a Wednesday Addams clone,
oh my god! Okay, now.
Besides dating yourself about the high school in Downton Abbey.
Yeah. so now we have to do.
I'm familiar with it. I know that she's like the pretty one with the super pale skin and the dark hair.
Holy shit!
I mostly know her from the non sequitur comic strip where he throws in Addams Family references a lot.
So it looks like we have to do a freaking watch party now because freaking Philip has not seen any Addams Family stuff.
Oh, I haven't seen the modern movie.
That's some good stuff.
I always watch the black and white episodes, so
yeah, those are good too. The modern ones are good. Maybe you know what? I think maybe that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to see if they have the modern ones on Prime. If you guys have Prime, we'll do like a watch party on stream even and comment on it. Also, here's interesting. Go to YouTube and search for Adult Wednesday Addams. An actress did a short web series of Adult Wednesday Addams for a while, and it is the most hilarious thing I've seen lately. I gotta post it, and I'll put it on the Discord. Interestingly, she was hit with a cease and desist because it was like the Addams Family is satire, she's satire. It's again, it was too similar, so the people who own the trademark basically squashed her. Ironically, the porn version was protected by the First Amendment. The porn version is artistry, it's expression, so it's completely protected. The people who held the rights to the Addams Family couldn't do jack about it. Irony is strong in this one. Adult Wednesday Addams. I mean, it had to happen. I mean, it was just a step away, really. But there we are. So now you know. Now you know.
Crazy.
Yes, maybe watch party. Well, let's see how we do. All right. So let's go to the family. All right. Let's see. All right. So we have Mortimer Malbane. He's the head of the family. Or he's the patriarch at the moment, at least. So let's kind of go down the list here. Is Mortimer married?
Is there a page for this in the?
Yes, 112 is where you're looking for introduction members of the family.
Cool.
So okay, Mortimer Malbane. Is he married, or was he married, or one of those two? Are they alive?
I think yes.
Excellent. And all right, so who is his wife still alive?
I think yes.
All right. Okay, so let's see. Well, let's see about hitting you guys after this. So Steve, what's Mrs. Malbane's name?
We're gonna say Delilah.
Delilah, perfect.
Ooh.
I like where this is going. So yes, and I've marked this so I can easily come back to this, and I'll be doing this all from All the World Anvil from rewatching this episode. So okay, cool. Let's see here.
And just for scandal, she is half his age.
Nice.
I think nice. The original mother to the children that I assume will come died under mysterious circumstances.
Ooh. And what was her name?
Don't make me come up with two names.
All right, okay, Jason, what's the deceased wife's name?
The deceased wife's name.
Deceased is always in air quotes, by the way.
Oh, well then, clearly we need to get annoying and ridiculous names. So her name was Chastity.
Excellent. Well, she had children probably, so not that chaste. Am I right? So there we are.
I don't know. Worked for Mary.
Oh, you got it. All right, so let's see, Philip. What's the married life like? Are they deep in love? Are they kind of married for, like, you know, again, the present wife is half his age. Is it all about the special bedroom time, if you know what I'm saying? Is it about the status? Like he needed a wife to keep his status, and she needed stuff, future, household, etc.
Originally it was about probably his being a bit of a creep. And her wanting a secure position in this stratified society. But now, I mean, he's basically senile, getting up there close to 90, and she's half his age, but still in her 40s. So the talk downstairs is that she's the one who actually runs everything and is in charge of everything. And it's really only the valet's word for it,
who died.
Malbane is actually still alive.
The valet who died previous to the episode 1. And so you can keep a secret. The 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. Remember that. All right, excellent. Let's see. So they have children. If so, how many? And are they different in age? Or you have an older and a youngers? Olders or younger, something like that.
Are you giving up on all the separate voices? Or are you going to go with that still?
I will attempt it for some of the main characters. We'll see how we do.
That's no fun.
Feel free to challenge me or make a bunch. We can always work them in.
4.
4 children. All right, let's start with the eldest. How old is the eldest? And what's their name?
We will say the eldest is... Well, let's see. Lord Mortimer. We'll say the eldest is 37. Or we can go older. And that way they can have, certain age children. Let's go 47.
47 it is. And
it's more senile, so therefore he's, at least in his 70s. Hopefully.
Okay, what's the name of the eldest?
We will go with Bartholomew.
Bartholomew. Bart. Nice.
No. Master Bartholomew.
Master Bart. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. Well done. Let's see here.
And all the staff call him the Bard.
Oh my god. Excellent. So I'm going to put in a detail that... let's see. Actually, I'm going to save that detail for later. We'll figure things out. Oops, did we lose? We lost Philip for a second. Oop, he's coming back.
I apologize. I'm still here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, when you turn your camera off, it rearranges everything on the screen. So just be aware. Don't worry about that. It's not a big deal. It's okay. All right. How about the next second eldest, the second child of Mortimer Malbane and his first wife?
That be well then that's going to be their darling little cherub Damien.
Damien. How old is Damien? Had to be a Damien. Good job.
Put the dog down, Damien.
Let's go with 33.
Okay.
Not too, a decent bit younger than the Bart,
All right. I'm going to say, this is the one I'll use this detail for. I'm going to say that Damien is recently from the war. The war, when you guys start, the war will have been over like just a few months before. World War I has ended. And I think I put this at May, so 6 months after the end of World War One. So possibly some of his troubles maybe were related. We don't know. But yes, he was an officer in the military, much to Mortimer's happiness and little extra prestige with a military member, as long as they don't stay there forever, that type of thing. Cool. How about the third child?
The third child is the proverbial black sheep of the family.
Nice.
And always rumored not to be actually a Malbane. And appropriately, her name is Scarlet.
Scarlet. So good. I love these names are just so perfect. You're all doing so well. Excellent. Black sheep who is Scarlet, the Scarlet Letter. And let's go. What's the fourth child, who's actually the only child that his Malbane's second wife has birthed? So how old is this child? And who are they? Don't be shy.
Fourth child.
The youngest.
He should be named Adam.
Adam. Nice. Excellent. How old is Adam? Let's make him younger. Like, can he be 12? Are we good with that? I'm asking you guys. This is more your creation. I'm just trying to pop in every now and then. Excellent. So Adam is 12 and the youngest. Excellent. So for the third generation, is it like a parent of one of the matriarch or patriarch, or do the children have children?
Oh, I think old Mortimer's had at least one kid with the new wife.
Yep, which is
Delilah.
Adam.
Yeah, it was Adam.
Yep, Adam.
Okay. But, I don't know. Well, we'll start with Bartholomew's. Bartholomew married, or does Bartholomew simply have, a lady companion?
Ooh, a child with a lady companion, or married? What do you guys think?
Or does Bartholomew have a child with a working lady companion?
Ooh. Or just out of
I would-
wedlock.
Although
Completely.
that might be more likely for Damien having been in the war.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like Bartholomew as the heir growing up before the great social rearranging that kind of happens in the mid 20th century. Probably would have followed more of the approved track of carrying on the family name and getting married. I would expect, but we can always subvert that.
Okay.
I like the idea
Well-
of him being married.
All
Okay,
right.
so Bartholomew's married.
Bartholomew is married to. No, let's not be obnoxious. Let's be a different kind of obnoxious. Peyton. Bartholomew's wife is Peyton.
Nice.
Peyton.
All right, and they have a child.
They have at least one child. I'm trying my best not to name somebody Petunia.
I can see the vein throbbing on your forehead, just trying to
They
hold
have
it in.
twins. I always thought twins were creepy.
Oh,
Maple.
creepy twins! That's awesome, Steve.
Oh, okay. Oh, creepy twins. Identical or fraternal?
Both can be, I would say fraternal, just so we have
Okay, Google, stop.
one
Like
of each.
one of each.
We would be extremely cruel on Scott and, go with very similar names, but,
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Alexandrina,
Yeah, they have to start with the same letter at least. It has
I
to
was
be.
going to say, do they have obnoxious twin names or completely separate names?
I think they have to be obnoxious twin names, as Steve is saying. What do you, how about Alexander and Alexandrina? That does sound awesome.
Aubrey and Audrey.
Aubrey and Audrey.
Aubrey.
What's that?
I like the older sounding ones, the Alexandra and Alexandrina.
All right. Are you good with that, Jason?
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. All right. We have a third generation. So they also have a pet. And as we know, it could be anything. They could be a frickin' lion, a bear, a crocodile, a cat, a little tiny cat. It can be a bird, a falcon, a lizard, a snake. What's their pet? Oop, somebody's furiously trying to think of something.
I'm feeling something like super mundane.
Yeah. That's a good thought. I like that. Anybody else? Any ideas?
Anything, Jason?
I like the idea of it being something mundane, but also incredibly vicious and not so much uncontrolled as its viciousness is doted upon.
What about a miniature pony that lives inside?
Oh my god.
That would be unusual. I was thinking of, instead of a dog, it's a wolf, or something like that.
There's a horse loose in the hole.
Please
Again.
not. Please not for any of the staff would that be good.
A miniature pony. Oh, is Alexandra a horse girl?
Oh god.
Probably in the worst way possible.
I feel like we're leaning towards miniature horse here for all the right and wrong reasons. For all the wrong right reasons, is that the best way to put it?
Sure.
All right,
What if
miniature
this
horse
one is named Petunia?
is, but the horse. Yeah, the horse. can
Okay,
be-
the horse is Petunia.
That makes
It's
all,
the twins' replacement for their mom.
Does the horse have to wear a mom mask?
Oh God, we'll get to that. That could be a trouble. So by the way, I will be keeping all of the troubles secret from you until discovered.
No.
Once they are discovered, I'll put them on the World Anvil and everything for all to see. But until then, it will remain secret, even from you. So, because I want to clip the looks on your faces when you find out the troubles for each, and place them on my wall and look at them longingly and whatnot as I treasure your surprise and terror, etc. But awesome. Okay, any other family members you guys are interested in? It can be whatever. We can stop there.
I liked Jason's idea of like an illegitimate child for Damien.
Oh,
or some sort of mistress.
Like maybe like a war, like this kid showed up on his doorstep one day, and it's like, "Hi, my mother was this woman you knew in here, and now I'm here to claim my place in the family," or whatever.
Or did Damien, fall for his worker and has kind of brought her home, but they can't get married because that wouldn't be proper. That
could be trouble. Maybe that's a fair trouble that we can actually bring out into the open, because that would be a trouble.
Ooh.
That's looked down upon. That is frowned upon such big time to have like a.
Ooh.
So let's say
that could work. That she's got a small townhouse and he's basically paying her upkeep by keeping her secret.
Or not, as the case may be. That's as the trouble grows, that gets closer. So let's use both. Let's say that. How about he had a woman overseas somewhere. I'm envisioning him being in like the Northern Africa theater of the war, and brings a woman home, and so the woman is kept, and he has a little legitimate child that lives in the house, and go from there. How's that sound? Interesting? Scary?
Yeah.
Oh, that can definitely make things interesting. I'm sure we can mess things up with that.
Cool. Let's see here.
Who's the child?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't give the name to the child. No pressure.
We could always name him Scott.
No, that's too American. The name doesn't exist anywhere else. It's a sad name. Nobody wants that.
How
about something like we're missing like a highly religious name. Not to bring religion into it because I don't want to, but there's always
no. Okay, that works.
What was it, Steve?
No, there's too many A's.
Oh, there's too many A's.
What about Thomas?
Doubting Thomas.
Butler is Tom as well too. I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Or would that make it more interesting?
Peter. Oh, I didn't get the first names of either of the staff.
Do they admit to first names at this time?
Wait a second. I think I know the perfect name, especially because this is after the post-war, but before Bugs Bunny. Can I get a nice biblical name? Nimrod.
Oh my. Okay.
Name.
Nimrod is described in the Bible as a mighty hunter.
Oh my. All right.
Which is why Bugs Bunny uses that to refer to Elmer Fudd. He's making fun of him.
Interesting.
If you really don't like that, we can always go with Malachi.
Ooh, how about Malachi? I think of Children of the Corn, and that brings up good things for this.
Damien, sure.
Malachi and Damien. My God, that's perfect. Good call.
Named after his great grandfather. Malachi. The Twisted or something.
Oh, nice.
Malachi Malbane the 7th.
So okay, all right, excellent. Any other family members we want? What's the I don't know what we call her. She's technically a mistress. What's the mistress's name?
Oh, do they know about the mistress? Do people know about the mistress, or is it just rumor?
I think it'll be a trouble, so it'll be kind of like a kept secret. But for purposes of kind of shoring up the family tree, let's name her.
I like the name Alecto.
Alecto, sure.
It's Greek. It was one of the Furies.
Interesting. Alecto works
but also
great for me.
It's Greek.
Cool. Ooh,
how do you spell that?
Alecto, or you can do it a K. Either one is Greek. Okay. I'm not sure which one would look better to people.
Excellent. Cool. Any other family members or
voices to keep track of, Scott?
Oh God. Oh, I forgot about that. Damn it.
That one should be easy.
We'll see how I do. I think I'm going to try for at least a couple at the start and then just completely fail for a greater 95% of this entire campaign. But I will try. So yes, awesome. Okay, so that's the family, and we're right at the halfway mark. So before we get into creating Malbane Manor, why don't we take our 10-minute break? We'll be right back and be energized and ready to get your fluids, etc., or get rid of fluids or whatever makes you happy. And then we'll see you guys in 10. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, be right back. All right, and we are back. All right, so third part of this is the house.
Stay hydrated, everyone.
Yes, stay hydrated. That's really a good rule to live by, period.
That's my stream job.
Yeah, you're keeping everybody hydrated. That's good to know. There are worse stream jobs. That came out wrong. Let's see. All right. All right. Okay. So yeah. So let's actually. We don't have to. This is a manor house. This is a rather large thing, so it's not important to do every single room here. In fact, it'll be cooler if, like, when we're kind of doing our thing, we, oh, by the way, the third room on the right as you go down the hallway, that's where I go into, or wherever, that kind of thing. And so yeah, again, we don't have to do every little bit of minutiae about this house. Just some main rooms that are important to us and we're going to probably be in regularly-ish, that kind of thing. Let's see here. So I'm going to kind of go down the list of things that they suggest, and we can decide if that is a room we want to put on our list or not, and kind of go from there. So let's see here. Let's start with the upstairs. So the first one they suggest is a menacing main hall, the room you enter when you go through the front doors. I'm assuming that's probably a good one to start with.
Oh, yes.
Let's see here. So they have a bunch of options for different, like, things about it, but what do you all think is, like, notable or strange or whatever about the main hall?
Strange about the main hall.
So some of the things they give you for inspiration are all the portraits in main hall have their eyes scratched out. Since construction of the manor, the main floor is decorated by inlay lines made of brass, forming strange symbols. Or the rafters creak and groan because of age and neglect, make them crashing down at any time. And if any of those work for you, we can pop that in. But is there anything, like, noteworthy about this room that that you find would be interesting for our main hall?
I have an idea.
What you got?
What if, whenever the front doors are open, many more sets of footsteps enter the room than actual people?
Ooh.
So, like, you can hear more feet than people, and even if no one is entering, you can hear footsteps on the floor.
That sounds cool.
Unusual echoes, weird acoustics. Yeah.
Yeah, no one's quite sure where it's coming from. Or maybe it's ghosts. Who knows? Anything else? Anything else noteworthy about it?
Whatever you say, you hear an echo of it repeated about 2 seconds later.
No, that's just Discord.
Yeah, sure, that's Discord.
I like the footsteps, but maybe if it's more general, it's like echoes of the past.
Oh, like the last time you opened the door? That's
no, like past.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
There's the door openings and and a bunch of feet rushing in, but there could also just be like a heated conversation that you hear, and you look around as to like where the echo's coming from, and there's no one around.
I love that.
Very cool. All right, that's an awesome start. Good ideas. Good ideas all around. And again, you're building on each other's ideas, and that's cool. This is very we're all doing this. That's awesome. All right, so the next suggestion they have for a room is a drawing room. I don't actually know what a drawing room is, but it looks like it serves a dual purpose as a waiting room for the family before dinner and as a ladies' retreat afterwards. So does a drawing room sound like something would be valuable to us?
Sure, I think that's probably, one of the places that the family gets together, either before a meal or, some of them after a meal.
Yeah, so we'll be spending a decent amount of time here, so that's cool. So let's see here. So we have the options they give us here for inspiration are as a treatment for the rumored outbreak of women's hysteria, lordships require the newest scientific breakthrough, an electrical vibrating fainting couch. Does anyone get the note of the women's hysteria? Get that one?
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that then. So that's that. As the family waits for dinner, they've taken to play a disquieting game involving a revolver and one bullet among them. That's weird. That's crazy. Among ladies' sewing notions, the staff have begun to find small handcrafted puppets, suspiciously looking like members of the staff showing up. So yeah, so it's interesting. So it's not just what the room is, but like what you can find in it, maybe. What do you guys think is a good for this room for, like, again, for the sitting area before or after a meal, as they're waiting for the food to be chauffeured in, or whatever you want to call it?
I have a perfect idea. For whatever reason, the drawing room has on the wall, it's mounted, say, a dozen or even 24 mounted animal heads, like the whole deer head on a plaque thing.
Mm-hmm.
All the creatures that are mounted have antlers of varying size and impressiveness, but none of the animals are animals that actually have antlers.
That's awesome. Holy crap. I'm here to tell you. If I saw a raccoon with a full rack of antlers coming at me, I would poop myself and then run like you've never thought that I could run before. So that is disquieting and a great idea. Anything else we want to add to this room, as if that's not enough?
No, I think that could be enough. That's pretty...
Yeah. That's a lot to take in.
Only need one really interesting thing per room.
True. I don't want to disallow two if it works, But yeah, we don't want to overpower. Like, you don't have 15 things hitting you at the same time as you go in a room. But I mean, the jackalope is more than enough.
I'm sure there's going to be more edits to the rooms during play.
Oh,
For the sake of proposing something to add, although I'm not super attached to this idea, it would be interesting to force the staff to regularly interact with the antlered heads if cobwebs grow overnight between all the antlers. Just like there are so many cobwebs every single morning.
well, that's cool. That builds on it's already there. That makes a lot of sense. But keep our housekeeper busy as heck.
That's
Thanks.
something for the housekeeper to do, yes.
Have to make sure I throw something in, good for the garage.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I like this. How's this working out? All right, so that's the drawing room. The dining room we definitely need. The things it gives is inspiration there. When it was first built, the dining room was originally another location of the house. Since the remodel over a century ago, let's see, the dining room and the kitchen are the farthest distance apart from each other. Food will not arrive warm. Help the server request to retrieve salt from the kitchen pantry. The other one is, let's see, as one of the largest rooms in the house, the dining room is historically served as a room used for duels of honor. So, yeah, go with that. Blood all over the place, on the walls. It stays there forever. The third chair from the left is always left vacant since the death of Lordship's grandfather, etc., etc. So, what's something interesting about the dining room? What you got?
Hmm.
It's a large room. I'm envisioning this as being like with a larger table. So probably, or actually, it's gonna be interesting. So is the main table large enough for all the family members that we've mentioned that would eat in the house, or is it too small and someone has to have a tiny table, or is it so large that it's like double the capacity? So like they expect to have large parties, etc.
Is there like a main large dining room and then perhaps like a smaller, more intimate dining room, if just like for that only seats like 4 or 6 if Mortimer only wants a couple people for dinner? I would think the main dining room should be big enough to like seat pretty much everybody and probably a fair number of guests, but
I think
obviously I
like that.
Okay, and
I
I'm
think
still
it would be.
okay.
Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Oh, no, I'm just envisioning like instead of like having a small room for the intimate ones, still keep the exact room and do the scene where like one person's at one end, one person's at the other end, and no one else is dining at all, etc. That kind of thing. That has
right. I think it would be really funny if like people have very specific seating requests and requirements, and like one thing that the staff have to know is like, well, on this day of the month, like you only set the table like the third on the left, the third on the right, and then like 2 seats down, and then you always have to make sure you set tables at like these like set plates at these empty spots. And
that's
serve
cool.
Food there, even though nobody eats there.
Excellent, awesome. I'm good at that if you guys are. The kind of I have ideas for this. Okay, cool. This will be very interesting. Cool. Awesome. That's I love how this is going so far. Very collaborative. All right. So we have a smoking room potentially. So after dinner, the male members of the family would retire to the smoking room for a sniff to a brandy and a good cigar, and discussion of the financial current events, etc. So this is like a man's club after dinner, specifically attached to it or whatever. Is that something we want to have, or do we not see ourselves using a smoking room so much?
I think it would be interesting to have.
Excellent. So let's look at let's see. So the inspiration again for this one is it's a displayer. The smoking room is also a display area for his lordship's hunting trophies. Oh, we've already covered that, including his standing bear. The stuff is mounted. His eyes always seem a little too realistic. Funny. Someone in the house has been using the smoking room for more than just smoking tobacco. Illicit narcotics permeate the room. And the last one that goes is his lordship might begin to dabble in politics, feeling more qualified to win an international affairs than the normal channels, late hour meetings with foreign dignitaries have been regularly occurring, that kind of thing. So what do you guys think? What's interesting about this room? What happens here, etc.? What do you guys imagine for this boys only club with snifters of brandy and cigars?
There's always smoke hanging in the air, lingering the room, even if nobody's been in there for months.
Cool.
You open the door and you look in, and there's some smoke in the air, as if somebody was actively smoking a cigar or something, even if it's completely empty.
Cool, I'm good with that. What do you guys think?
And it smells of gunpowder.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I was going to say, what does the smoke smell like?
Interesting. Anything to add, Steve, or does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. That brings another dimension to the room. That's pretty cool. I wonder if someone died here by being shot. Very subtle. Cool.
And
all
best
right.
not light a match.
What's that?
And best not light a match.
Yeah, best not to light a match. Thank you. Excellent. All right. Let's see. We definitely need a library. The inspirations here are there's a special section of books forbidden to everyone on the staff and even certain members of the family. Let's see. The library is well known to contain the largest collection of rare ornithological texts ever to be in print. Several tomes considered to be priceless. Because of the rarity, staff are asked to take care and maintenance and collecting and of the collection while keeping would-be thieves from purloining any of the volumes. Ornithological, is that bird watching?
Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you.
I sort of like, first, I know one of the things in the list of items was, there possibly being some, demonology and, witchcraft type themes. I like there being a section of, forbidden books, and I think one of them is bleeding.
Oh, that's so awesome. Oh my god. All right. So,
idea to go with that. Perhaps there is a restricted section with the occult books and the bleeding book, but that's in a hidden room off the library that you have to access, of course, by pulling the right book on the shelf to cause the shelf to swing aside and open the secret passageway.
Oh, neat.
And only some of the family know this exists, but all the staff know this exists, and the family is absolutely convinced that the staff know nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. I like all that.
Yeah,
I imagine housekeepers required to clean the blood up regularly.
Yep.
And then pretend it never happened.
Right. That's so awesome. I love that.
I like the idea of the family, whoever knows about this, not knowing, being absolutely certain that the staff doesn't know this, but they all expect that the blood just cleans itself up every so often.
Yeah, as it should be.
Whereas every housekeeper or everybody else who finds this or is hired on is told about this particular thing.
Nice. Awesome. I love it. All right, cool. So we got a library and a secret room. Our first.
We need some kind of secret room or passageway. You
Absolutely.
can't have a house like this without one.
Yeah, actually, one of the, I forget which playbook, but one of them actually has you are able to go through the various secret passageways, etc. So there are absolutely secret passageways all over the place.
I know the butler has a move to gain access to everything in the house.
Yeah, I think that might be one of them I'm thinking of. But anyway, all right. So next we have the parlor. When guests arrive, they're escorted to the parlor, the former entertaining room for visitors to the house. This is different in contrast to the drawing room or smoking room, which are meant for more informal discussions. So this is like the entertainment area before dinner or whatever, that kind of thing. I think a parlor would be important. The inspiration I get for that is the candelabras in the parlor never go out for long. And the staff snuff candles as the evening concludes. They regularly find them relit. The next one is, let's see, quite by accident.
I love that one, actually.
That's pretty cool. So, quite by accident, the staff discovered a trap door and it drops its occupants in her particular chair down the discontinued dumbwaiter into the cellar. Jesus. Oh my god. And the last one is, the staff dislike attending guests in the parlor ever since the unfortunate shooting incident with his lordship's hunting party last year. So, yeah, do you guys automatically like that the candelabras never stay unlit for long?
I kind of like the trap door to the basement, but it's not that. I mean, that just seems too plain. It'd be more interesting.
Everybody has one of those.
If you open the trap door, that you can hear something on the other end of it. Maybe it's moaning, maybe it's animal noises, maybe it's dissonant whispers.
So is it a trap door, though, where, like, someone stands on it and then someone presses a button and it opens up, or how does that work?
Ooh,
Strictly speaking,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
What if there's like a dead end door? I don't know what that's called.
False
like instead
door?
of a trap door, yeah, it's just a false door that opens, but like you hear all those sounds as if it continued, but it's just like a plain wall.
Interesting.
Ooh, that works. Yeah, technically a trapdoor is just something in a floor. Even if you have to like pull it up by the handle or whatever, it's still technically a trapdoor.
It's not a fun trap
Oh, so like
door.
a false trapdoor that leads to sounds?
Interesting. How about we go with the let's go with the candelabras and that don't stay unlit. And so if we do like a trapdoor on the floor, is that an obvious trapdoor of some kind, or is it hidden where like guests will not necessarily see it?
That is a point. How do the guests interact with it that makes it a problem?
Yeah. Or do they? Or do you stuff stuff down there?
I would think that it would be covered by one of our Persian rugs.
Okay. Okay.
I would think the staff probably would have done that themselves at some point.
Okay. So it's a not interesting trapdoor in the sense you can't be sprung. But if you take the thing off the rug off from it, you can open it up and you hear weird sounds coming from the bottom. Is that what I'm hearing?
There's nothing stopping you from opening it up and putting the rug back over it.
Oh, I suppose there is that. All right, but there are in theory, if you open up, there are weird-ass disembodied sounds coming from there that theoretically shouldn't be, or whatever. That sound right?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And we have no idea where in the basement the trapdoor connects to.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Oh, that's definitely adding on there. All right, so let's see. We have a conservatory. This is for musical entertainment. It's where, what do you call it? They store the instruments, they play them, probably has some nice acoustics. We want one of those.
What about any wind instrument that's played comes out as screams?
I love that.
All right, cool. Okay, so we definitely want one. Let's see.
We don't play woodwinds in this house.
Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, that could make some interesting visits. Awesome. All right.
So of course, when the quartet is invited,
I think you mean the trio.
So that's the number that make it to the performance. A quartet enters, a trio leaves. It's like fucking Thunderdome.
Remember, let's be clear. You must play the bass, not the bassoon.
So, all right, that's cool. That's cool. I wonder if is it that Is it that the family doesn't get that that's what happens, so the staff has to constantly make sure there's no woodwinds type of thing?
Ooh, that would be fun. That the family never hears the screaming, but the staff and the guests do.
Oh, that's fucked up. Wow. Damn. Jason is macabre tonight, man.
Setting the scenes for Scott, just
Yeah.
lining up.
This is not even difficult for me anymore. It's like you're not even challenging me. It's crazy.
I love the idea that periodically the staff gets sent out to buy more woodwinds or to pick up orders of woodwinds and bring them back, and then they just have to arrange over the course of like the next week to have them break or disappear. And it's always like who is lowest on the pecking order to have to do that job and get in trouble.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see here. Let's see here. So the bathroom. Upstairs bathrooms were expected to be kept pristine white with clawfoot tubs. Sterile appearance is always due to the grueling hard work of the staff. Why are we picking on the housekeeper? I don't understand. But that's upstairs, so maybe that's the butler's thing. I don't know.
No, that would be the housekeeper.
No, I mean, when upstairs in this province is more referring to the areas occupied and used by the family as compared to like the servants' areas. So like even though it would be on the same floor, the dining hall is considered upstairs and the kitchen is downstairs.
That makes sense. Cool. So let's see. Let's see options for that. Ideas for that. Staff have given strict instructions to keep the windows open and the room well ventilated when a bath is taken by the family. When the mirrors fog up, strange, unpleasant messages appear from nowhere. Ooh, that's rather good, actually. Another one. No one is sure what filled the bathtub every week last October. It certainly wasn't water, and probably not blood. Hasn't reoccurred since, etc. Let's see, her ladyship is taken to including an exotic bath salt when she bathes, claiming it rejuvenates her skin. Egyptian concoction is known to contain a form of snake venom that causes slight numbness. Interesting. So yeah, another thing, keep in mind, maybe it's something that, is it a way, with these rooms, is it a way in that the family members use it that makes it weird or strange or noteworthy and that kind of thing.
I think I love that last one with the bath and the bath salts, especially it says, this pales in concern when compared to the occasional scales found within the bathtub of late.
Interesting.
Yeah, that hints at a otherworldly or, supernatural element.
Or a trouble.
Without being just, bathtub filled with blood, like we've seen that all.
Yeah, it's been done. It's been done.
Bathing in blood, that's historical reference.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, cool. All right, let's move on from there. Let's see. A bedroom, the Blase bedroom. Each private bedroom requires daily attention, turning down the bed linen, making sure each family member's personal effects are impeccably clean, folded, put away, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. One of the ideas here is since he was the child lordship, never wanted the closet door to be closed at night. Every night before retiring, the staff were instructed to prop the door open. The door was left closed once several years ago, causing lordship to wake with his now signature white streak in his beard. Interesting. Day or night, no matter what the season, the family demands a fireplace be burning brightly at all hours. The heat is excruciating during the days of summer, but the family is quite insistent. They claim it to keep something at bay. And the last idea is like her ladyship is quite insistent about where the furniture is located within her private bedroom, with as much open space between her private bed and the window. Interesting. Along with her strict instructions to the gardener about the way outside shrubbery should be trimmed. One of all things she expects to receive visitors, etc. during the night. Interesting. And on the mention of the gardener, that the part of the gardener will be played by me. The gardener is your gateway to answers if you should get lost. I won't be giving you any direct answers, but if you're lost along the way, I can hint you where you maybe need to go. And the gardener's been here since forever, etc. So, what do you think about any bedrooms of note? Again, we don't necessarily want to get into every single individual's bedroom. We don't have that kind of time. I suppose we actually could. We could. I don't want to spend the entire rest of our time here doing bedrooms. But we could talk about that on Discord if you guys wanted. Like, we can basically put down, each family member has something interesting about their bedroom or that kind of thing. But are there any noteworthy ones that come to mind for family members? Their rooms. Do the twins share a room and there's something strange in there?
Going back to that, about each bedroom, I think that's something that would be better if when we go into a room, for the first time, you do the, whole, Powered by the Apocalypse thing and just ask us, what's unusual about it.
Oh, that's absolutely a great idea.
And it becomes canon.
Nice. That's so cool.
I think that's cool.
And that gives each of you a way to kind of, it's yours, your creation alone and that type of thing. So that's kind of cool too. Plus, yeah, I love that. That's an awesome idea, Steve. Thank you. Cool. So
can I throw out one idea?
Sure.
I think it would be super cool if the twins sleep in bedrooms that are as far apart from each other as possible.
Oh, that's cool. Why? Why, Philip? Why? I gotta know.
You're the one who knows the troubles.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is that. By the way, if you don't understand, you're not going to be a freaking busy bee between now and next week. I got a lot to do. I still got to finish off the intro movie. I have to update World Anvil with all this stuff, create troubles for all the family members, figure out what voices I'm going to use to wonder and dazzle Steve, and kind of go from there. So that's going to be very interesting. So go. All right, let's leave that for the bedrooms. And again, that's an awesome idea, Steve. We'll have you guys kind of do the thing as you enter. We definitely need an attic. Storage for old furniture, holiday ornaments. Gosh, don't we all? And other items that are not rarely used. Younger members of the family often use attic as a playroom. Anything about the thing? So the ideas for that are, his lordship's father built a perfect replica of the house and the nearby village in miniature, including a graveyard. Children had taken and burying their pets in the graveyard replica. His lordship's cousin is a big game hunter to send one of his prize trophies to the hall, a live tiger. Not knowing where to keep such a thing, goes to the attic. Let's see here. A large mirror once resided in the main hall was hastily removed to the attic. And I'll leave it at that. So, what do you guys think? Is there anything interesting about the attic?
I have an idea, but I know people get to come with other ideas first. I've had a lot of ideas.
I think we all have. Go for it.
Mad Scientist Lab.
Oh, that's neat.
I wanted at one point, include in one of the rooms, various, decanters of, unusual liquid,
Yeah, or I guess more alchemy lab.
Ooh, even better.
To go along with those occult books.
Nice.
So it's got still and all the beakers and all the tubes running around and the coils of glass and all of that.
Oh, wow, that's so awesome. That's a great idea. I like that a lot. That gives me a lot to work with also. Good job. Good job, Jason. Cool.
And then I can add something even more macabre to that.
All right, go for it.
And in one corner, looking over all of this, I don't know. It would have to be. I don't know. You know what? It's our patriarch is currently Mortimer the Third, right?
Yes.
So it is the perfectly stuffed and taxidermied body and impeccably dressed of Mortimer the First, watching over this alchemy lab from the corner.
Oh my! Wow. Well, we went deep macabre on that one. Woo. But yeah,
You asked for it.
I did. Did anyone have any objections to that being just too creepy? Have we gone over the line yet? I don't see any disgust. Philip may be puking right now. I'm not sure. Nope.
I think we're pretty far away from the line, judging by what I expect from this campaign.
Is that a good thing?
Sounds like.
All right, excellent. Okay, all right. So that completes the upstairs. Now the downstairs. Starting with the servants' hall, common area for staff. It's basically your dining room, drawing room, and everything. Chore area, sewing, polishing. You know, that's your place, all in one. Ideas for it are, let's see, his lordship's great grandfather fancied himself a woodworker and handcrafted all the furniture there. Even after he started losing his sight, despite none of the furniture maintaining an even line, the family considered the horribly spacious furniture a symbol of honor, uneven in legs and all, and I'm sure disallows anyone from getting rid of any of it. Let's see, a decade or so ago, one of the family children thought it was a lovely prank to mix the bells with their corresponding pull ropes through the house. Unfortunately, it's never been corrected, to the confusion of everyone. And the servants' hall is always cold, even in the thick of the warm, muggy summer. The servants often need to bundle up, huddling around open candles for warmth. Those are the inspirations for the servants' hall. So what do you guys think? Well, this is like this is probably where you'll be spending a decent deal of your time.
So
Again,
I actually have. Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I have an idea from one of the library suggestions. It said the oak tree outside has been growing more wild as the years go by. Its roots pushing against the foundation of the house and branches scraping against the window. When the wind blows, the oak tree sounds like it's trying to break into the house by any means necessary, which I think might be interesting in our place where we're supposed to be able to relax and rest and recharge.
Oh, it always sounds like something's rattling at your window, or about to, in the sense of like about to shatter it, or like it's a creature potentially. It sounds like it's a creature coming to get you.
Kind of like how, I mean, I imagine that we've all thought at one point as a kid when there was a tree next to the window and like the branches were scraping against it like it was long fingers trying to scrape in.
Especially
and maybe they're like
the original poltergeist.
Yeah, the original poltergeist. Yeah. Oh
Yes.
God, I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. You're dating yourself, Steve.
And then you have the roots that like go up underneath, crack the tiles.
I was gonna say you could try and amplify that more by having the roots having already come through the wall,
Or the floor. Yeah, that's all very cool.
and the roots are big enough that we essentially use them as furniture.
Oh my goodness, that's interesting. All right, that's definitely cool. It's like the least maintained room of the entire house, of course, is the place where you guys are, where you have to find your solace, pretty much.
Yeah, it's an idea. I also really like the creepy tick 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 of the tree.
Yeah, I'm good for both.
The constant presence of, a creepy tree, whether, it's like a root that you tripped on that you knew wasn't there yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Man.
And during the frequent thunderstorms, every single lightning strike, the trees seem to have a completely different silhouette, but they all want to eat. But they all want to eat you.
Oh my God. How many nightmares is this campaign going to spawn in us and the viewer? I can't say. All right, good ideas. Awesome. All right, so let's see. Servants' bedrooms. Again, I think this would be cooler to, like, why don't you guys think of this yourselves? I'll say each of you has a pretty crappy little small bedroom with the basics in it, bed, desk, chair, wash basin. When it comes to actually game time, why don't we I'll have you each describe your own and go from there. So I'll give you your very own creation, just you, for your own room. How about that? I'm assuming
I think the
How
chauffeur
absolutely
sleeps
dreadful.
was that?
Maybe in the garage.
I think that's what it said.
Oh, the chauffeur has a bedroom in the actual garage itself?
Yeah, that's what it says on page 94.
If I do lose power, I should be back on shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on page 94, which I think is a little bit ahead of us. On page 94, the Gasly garage, in addition to being storage location for family vehicles, the garage is also where the chauffeurs slept and spent most of their off time. Chauffeurs were expected not just to drive the cars, but maintain and fix them.
Cool. All right. So that'll be Ms. Croft's creation when the time comes. So cool. Awesome. So let's see. The next is the pantry. It was more than just the butler's office. It was where the family's silver and wine cabinets were stored under lock and key. Access to the pantry was closely supervised, and some butlers actually slept in them in the name of security. Interesting. Hopefully, Steve is okay. You talk about losing electricity. That's not good. We don't like that. Yep, let's come back. Yay!
Sorry about that.
No. Everything okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just I can hear the substation, having issues nearby. So
okay, if you need to cut out for the safety of your computer, etc., it's utterly understandable. Okay, cool. I just want to put it out there. Cool. All right, so the pantry is next. Again, where the fine silver is stored, along with the wine cabinets and whiskey under lock and key. Anything interesting about that? It's kind of the butler's domain, generally speaking.
Well, then it seems appropriate that not the butler inflict misery on me.
Yeah, it's not really for food; it's for alcohol.
Yeah, it's more of the fine kitchenware as they're describing it. Yeah, the butler's office and like the fine silver and the wine and access was supervised, and so the wine racks and whatever. So, yeah, it sounds different from what we'd consider pantry, which is basically a dry goods food storage closet.
So it could either be something happening to the alcohol or the silver.
How about like something like the silver tarnishes far more regularly than it should from its, especially since it's not used probably that often, maybe. And one of the family members is very particular about this. Must be, shiny and silvery, etc.
I was thinking maybe along the lines of, that the alcohol has been, spontaneously, transmuting into another fluid.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that one. Yeah, or like, and also like filling in an empty
upstairs. Kind of a tie into that.
Yeah, any liquids, perhaps like if any liquids were ever stored in one corner tend to become something else. I would expect that all the alcohol transmuting all the time would be problematic.
Yeah, we could do a certain location. And it could be like the, sort of like main serving area or whatever, or the main.
The most convenient area.
Yeah, the most convenient.
Yes, I like that. If you leave a bottle sitting on the table where you normally like pour decanters and stuff and leave the room, it will be something different when you come back.
Ooh, very cool. I like it. All right, cool. That's the pantry. Let's see. So the toilet, the no frills water closet, not even bathtubs, which were instead usually brought in once a week to a servant's bedroom. Oh my. Or the basins, one of those. So the ideas there decades ago, one of the remaining retaining walls was unexpectedly came down, requiring emergency rebuilding. Afterward, one of the workers was discovered to be missing. Interesting. Might have actually been bricked in. It was an honest mistake when they tried to rid the local marsh of snakes last year. Honestly, who would have expected them to come up the pipes to the servants' privy? That's a good one. And the last idea is his lordship has been wondering whether the reality is whether there really is a need for the servants' privy. Chamber pots serve immediately need quite nicely, in his estimation. What do you guys think? What's interesting about the servants' toilet? They're all so good. I mean, who hasn't had the, the thing like sitting doing your business and like, I could swear I heard something moving in there. I could swear I heard something moving.
There is the bad. Obviously, that's, some built-in creep factor. What if it's just at like the completely, opposite end of the servants area?
Oh wow! So if you have to go, you literally have to leave your area, maneuver through the family's areas, and hopefully not get stopped before you need to
fall off at one point, and so now you have to go, from the back stair on the other side of the house.
Nice, that's perfect. I like that.
That works well.
Good one.
Well, that brings a whole new level of meaning to when somebody says "piss off."
All right, so next we have the sitting room. Unlike the upstairs drawing room, the downstairs sitting room served as an office for housekeeping and accounting, everything from lists of needed items, scheduling of staff, inventory of household linens, etc. So let's see, the ideas here, Lordship insists on keeping all of the used linen in a special armoire, never to be thrown away, regardless of condition. Footsteps overhead are commonplace on the downstairs floor, as the servants' staff can always hear the family walking about in the upstairs. Footsteps can often be heard above the sitting room as well. Let's see. The writing desk will contain scraps of paper from the last housekeeper, who slowly went insane before she was committed. Reading through them is quite unsettling.
So yes, I will likewise leave this up to Jason and Philip to come up with.
Yes, punish the housekeeper.
Sitting room, the office for housekeeping and accounting.
I really like the idea that like the floor is like bowl shaped. And so, like, all the furniture has to be kind of, like, propped up or tied down, and things have to be, like, very carefully secured, or the papers will all fall off and, like, just all fall into a pile in the middle of the floor, along with all the paperweights and the ink pots and stuff. So if you aren't very careful about how you leave stuff, it'll just form a terrible mess in the middle.
Ooh, that's interesting. Plus, that everything in its place will be a little easier there, probably. What do you got, Jason? Anything to add? Does that sound good?
Oh, that's even better than I could imagine.
Excellent. All right.
Basically, we're setting this up that regardless of whose room it is, if someone leaves it, it's going to be a problem when they come back.
It's going to be a problem. It's funny. All right. Next is the kitchen. Kind of speaks for itself. Let's see. So the kitchen is the domain of the cook, and the hub of activity as meals were planned, prepared, cooked, etc., served at all hours of the day. This was before the advent of refrigeration, so most meals are made from scratch, usually on the day of serving. So you have no cook, so we'll figure out how food gets there and all that kind of good stuff during the session. But yeah, so let's see. The kitchen has historically contained cutting knives. 7 cutting knives, no more, no less. It has been this way for generations. Where did the 8th knife come from? Why does it keep getting found in other places of the house? The thing about the cellar, let's see, am I looking at this? Yeah. The cellar has been known among the staff for generations. No one speaks of it. No one knows for certain what it is, but it's understood that all items are baked and prepared in a count of 13, with the last item left as a tribute into the cellar before locking up. An effort to control household costs, Lordship has insisted no food be wasted. This includes everything from the food that has gone spoiled, vegetable scraps that are barely edible, animal parts not normally eaten, etc. Because of this, the kitchen has developed a peculiar odor. All right, kitchen.
So I'll ask, since you sort of brought it up, are we the only 3 staff in the house?
I am going.
You know,
The game gives you options for that. Like either one of the options is like the people who aren't you are kind of like non-persons who show up as needed. I kind of like that, the idea that maybe you are the only 3 and that the other things are either neglected. So when like a new person pops up to fill that position, it's like the best thing ever. Of course not for the staff or the family. Or that you have to kind of do things the hard way. Like the chauffeur has to go in and get meals regularly. Then that could be some issues if things aren't just right. Or someone delivers the stuff and those are unintended visitors who maybe get lost on the grounds, type of things.
So,
et cetera.
In that vein, if maybe the kitchen isn't quote unquote currently defined as to who the chef is, what if all of the food comes up through a dumbwaiter and we don't know where it comes from?
That is so cool.
But also, whatever comes up through the dumbwaiter, we're expected to serve.
Oh wow! Oh, that is so awesome! I love that so much. Okay, spoiler alert: not house elves. Spoiler alert: not house elves.
Yeah,
awesome. I love that.
That way, if one of our characters, accidentally gets removed from their position, someone can play the cook, and and therefore, now we, talk about where the kitchen is, and that person becomes a little more prevalent.
Awesome. That's a great idea. Thank you. You guys are so good at this. We should even do the campaign. Let's just keep building, Bedlam Hall houses for people who are playing this. We could sell this. This is great.
Well, then I guess at some point maybe you should look at like running one of the games like this, like not Quiet Year, but like a similar sort of thing, sort of collaborative building.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I'm looking towards other things in the future. I recently found, I wish I knew this, slightly off, actually quite off topic, but I discovered this system where it's like, I wish I could remember the name. I didn't come prepared for this, but one of the things I'm looking at is like it's GM-less, and like everyone's a character, but if you go to a certain type of place or something, one of the people plays that role and is basically the GM in that place until they have to interact with it, and then they drop it and someone else takes it if necessary. And like you basically go around and one person is always the place you're at, that type of thing. So I forget what system that is, but it's novel.
Are you talking about the maybe no dice, no masters system?
No,
like that?
no,
like Sleepaway and stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But anyway, that's way off topic. But just on the topic of just doing world building type campaign type stuff is an awesome idea. Again, I'm always looking for interesting new ideas for stuff to do. So let's go to the last, which is the garage. So Ms. Croft will not be part of this conversation. What's interesting about the garage? So the ideas for that are this is a private workshop just beside the garage. It's where his lordship is known to tinker with contraptions and experiments, smell of gunpowder, etc. The next one, the family purchased its Duesenberg straight off the factory line, unaware one of the workers had accidentally been beheaded as it was assembled. Now there are unsavory rumors that a car has a taste for blood. The third is, at some point in the house history, the garage was built to be airtight, with sealed windows, tight-fitting molding around the door frames, and no ventilation to the outside world. As safety precaution, the large garage door is always kept propped open whenever possible. Interesting.
Well, I mean, I can certainly go with something definitely mean for that. I mean, it not like I've ever come up with any ideas like that before.
No, perish the thought.
Go for it.
No matter what, no matter how many lamps, torches, candles, whatever you bring in, interior of the garage is always dark. Not like pitch black, but like, very, very dimly lit.
I'm assuming this includes the chauffeur's bedroom.
Oh yeah, everywhere inside there, it's all dimly lit. It can be a bit hard to find your way around, and no matter what, the shadows, and there are lots of shadows, are always moving.
I was gonna say that sounds painful for us too, but that's perfect.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, then shadows are always moving, and quite often in a suspicious way.
Oh, that's cool. Very awesome. Oh my gosh.
Because well, I was trying to think about. I mean, I had that idea since the beginning. I was just trying to think of which room would be really good for that sort of effect.
She leaves her red purse, in the back seat, and and the chauffeur, goes to get it, and comes back with like, a brown purse, or a blue purse, or
Who was the other person's? Yeah. How many purses are in there? How many?
See, and the family is completely unaware of this because when they want to go for a drive, the chauffeur has to go to the garage, bring the car out to the front of the house.
Nice.
So none of the family ever go in the garage and realize how dark it is.
Plus, that's where I'm supposed to be sleeping.
Oh yeah, it's really great.
She's always so tired and just passes out in the sitting room. I don't understand.
Sweet dreams are made of these, as the song goes. Really not, though. Not in this case. That's completely the opposite, truly. Oh, I was just trying to think of something just wildly funny to say to make Steve spit up his water. It was like the perfect timing on that glass. I'm like, I just don't have it. No, can't do it. But there we were. Cool. So, all right, that's the house. So we've created our characters. We've created the family. I'll do some stuff behind the scenes. And we created the house. We created a bunch of interesting rooms with more to be created on the fly as we need them. And that is so cool. All these ideas. Oh my God. Again, I always try to point out in all of my sessions and all of my campaigns that my players are the stars of the show. And I think any viewer can see they're really showing that off. If it's one thing we as role players can do, it's exercise that imagination. Imagination's like a muscle. And the more you use it, the stronger it gets. And that kind of shows that this is one of the, role playing is one of the penultimate ways of expression, in my opinion. Or maybe that's just what I tell myself, because to make it feel like I haven't wasted a great portion of my 50 years, doing it. But there we are. So yeah. One thing I kind of want to bring up is I am looking for this to be not a completely terrifying thing for the players, characters, or viewers. I'm very much looking for, like, horror that is funny, things that are terrifying yet have this funny bent to them, that when something bad happens to someone, we can laugh and not feel bad about it because it is amusing and things are good. And that includes the PvP part of this whole show where you're kind of playing against each other for prestige with the family, or just to gain a prestige, not to be dismissed, etc., etc. So my hope is to keep this very lighthearted. Like, every episode is going to be a lot of laughs, but with that macabre, dark humor behind it, etc., etc. That's my goal. My goals aren't always met with all my campaigns, but all my campaigns turn out pretty darn good, I think. So I'm very happy with it. And so and we have extraordinary RPers with us, and I'm really looking forward to this whole thing. So we have a little time. Is there anything you guys want to kind of talk about the game? Any questions for me? Any questions for each other, or anything about the characters? Anything else?
Let's get miserable.
Let's get miserable. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm completely unprepared with my details, but one of the writers of the game, if you look at any description for the game, if you just looked without context at the description, it sounds like, why would anybody play this game? It's horrible. It sucks. Everybody's going to have a bad time, etc., etc. But of course, in context, it's, you get it. But even on, I've kind of tweeted some stuff out about this, and the response is always much the same. Like, I think hey, I'm doing this campaign, blah blah blah, and the guy's like, oh my god, this is going to be such a ghastly, horrible time. Again, someone who doesn't know what the heck this is about would be maybe take that the wrong way, but it's just hilarious that it's just this constant, beat of, oh my god, this is going to be horrible, so wonderfully horrible. Type of thing.
It reminds me of a series of unfortunate events and a lot of the things that Lemony Snicket puts in there of like, oh, you should not read this book, you should put it down and walk away.
Exactly. So yeah, there's definitely that influence. Cool. Anybody have anything else?
No,
Jason always has something.
The book starts out with literally an apology for it existing. Right? The very first section, it's an apology that the book exists at all. And that's like, if you're really smart, you just like put this down and leave.
But here we are. We're a bunch of masochists.
Right, of course. Right, and reading through that, it starts with an apology from the author. Because, of course, the idea for this had to be was a result of fever dreams while recovering from diphtheria.
Well, and what kills me is also, if you look this up on DriveThruRPG, where you can buy this, and he comments, he answers like questions about the game in the exact same fashion, and it's just hilarious. You definitely take the time to read them. It's darkly amusing. So my hats off to them for being so 100% in on the theme. So that's pretty cool. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else you want to add anything? All right. Your silence and dour faces tell me all I need to know.
Make them suffer.
Make them suffer. So
but not me.
So yeah. Oh, definitely not you. So
I don't deserve that.
Yeah, so I'm going to be very busy between this session and this coming Thursdays. Again, I'm going to finish off the intro movie, get that going, because every one of my major campaigns has an intro movie. I'm going to be popping stuff on World Anvil, and this is an interesting thing. So you may not notice if you're on the Discord, there's a section called Campaign Updates now. It's like on my information section, and what that is it's a webhook into World Anvil. So I know I can do it. I think the players can do it. So like when you update something and you would like it and it's noteworthy enough, I at least have the option to say, pop on, send to Discord, and that then Discord gets a little notice, a little hyperlink, hey, check this out, this just got posted or whatever. And I think you guys can do the same. I don't know. I really haven't explored that too much. But look for that, and if you guys can, that'd be awesome. If you guys do something or post like a diary entry that you think is really cool, feel free to, send to Discord, and it'll pop up there. And I really want to go all in on this World Anvil thing, because I think it has such potential for not only like chronicling what we're doing, but to kind of like give you guys a forum for expression and whatnot that like a public viewer can see and appreciate too. Again, one of the things I love about doing these actual plays, besides one is the the teachable things. I want to teach the system to people, so if they're thinking about getting into it, they see it actually in action and it works. And the second thing is, I love my role players. Oh my god, I seriously have to stop myself from gushing. And the idea that what if I was playing this not streamed or not recorded, and all this good stuff that you guys are putting out there is just never going to be seen by anybody. That is a freaking tragedy to me. So be able to put that out there, and then for you on the World Anvil side to then be able to share your own, your in-character diary from the session. Or I love that. So there's a lot to use here, and it's a pretty advanced, system, the World Anvil whole thing. So I'm looking to go just big time into it and use it to, as best I can with each of my campaigns, etc. So something to keep in mind. So if no one wants to say anything to say, let's say goodbye to our players for the moment. Let's start over here with Philip.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye. Maybe for the last time.
Yep. Yeah, I'm super thrilled, which of course means that I'm terribly miserable and depressed.
Like I said, maybe I'll see if maybe we can do like a watch party of the Addams Family or something. We'll see.
Right. Yeah, I have to figure out Wednesday Addams. But yeah, y'all have a
yes,
great night.
Look up Wednesday Addams. I'll put that on the Discord. All right, awesome. Philip, good to have you back again. Awesome. I'm so happy that you're back for this one. Jason. Hi, Jason.
I do very much hope you've enjoyed your visit to Malbane Manor, and please do come back for our coming engagement on the next Thursday. We will be delighted to entertain you once again.
Ooh, well put. And we will find out next session if Jason is taking the challenge of speaking in character accent all the time. We'll see how that goes. So again, Jason, he's a serial Scott's Case Fileser right now. Let's see if we can see how long we can keep the train going. So good to have you, Jason. Thank you for joining us. That's awesome. Love having you. And last but not least, again, the most veteranist veteran of Scott's Case Files, Steve. I'm just so happy you're here with us for this one. I think it's going to be a good time. Again, I've never played this before, so I have high hopes. I think we're going to really kick some ass. But Steve, thank you for coming back for this one, and good to have you. He's man a few words.
Yep. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, and with that, I'm Scott's Case Files. These are my awesome players. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us on Twitch, please think of following or subscribing. And either way, get informed of when I pop online. I also have my Discord. All that stuff is down there in the About. If you're watching this on YouTube, all the social media stuff is in the description. Definitely follow us. Check out the campaign, etc. Think of subscribing. Hit the little bell to be alerted. All that good stuff. And I hope to see you all soon. I hope you have a actually not miserable week. Let's break character for just a second, as I wish everybody a good rest of your week and a good weekend. And then we'll be miserable together on Thursday. For session 1 of Bedlam Hall, Malbane Manor. Meantime, take care, everyone. Be good to each other. Go forth and do no harm, unlike the Malbanes. And we will see you next time. Bye for now.
You, housekeeper, clean up the blood around that book.
Again.